Welcome. Today we're exploring the top 10 most fascinating ways animals communicate. The natural world is alive with conversation, a constant, complex dialogue beyond our human perception. From the deepest oceans to the highest canopies, life has found extraordinary methods to convey information. It is a language of survival, of courtship, of warning, of cooperation. Without it, the tapestry of life as we know it could not exist. Throughout our journey, we will witness these interactions firsthand. You will see real, high-quality footage, a window into secret conversations. We will observe the subtle flicker of light in the abyssal deep, hear resonant calls that travel for miles beneath the waves, and decode the silent gestures that maintain peace within a troop. These are not mere noises or movements, they are the threads that bind animal societies together. Our journey begins in a world governed by scent, with one of nature's most successful and organized societies, the ants. Here, communication is an invisible chemical language. It is a world of pheromones, potent airborne molecules that carry precise messages. An ant, having discovered a source of food, does not simply return to the nest. It leaves behind a trail, a minute yet powerful breadcrumb path of chemicals for its sisters to follow. Each step deposits a trace amount, creating a highway of scent that leads directly to the prize. This chemical dialogue is remarkably sophisticated. The type of pheromone released can convey a wealth of information. A foraging trail, for instance, is distinct from an alarm signal. If an ant is threatened or injured, it releases a different kind of pheromone, one that screams danger. This single chemical burst can mobilize an entire colony in moments. The scent spreads through the nest like wildfire, and soldiers pour out, ready to defend their home, their antennae twitching, reading the urgent message in the air. The strength of the signal also matters. A rich food source will compel a returning forager to lay down a much stronger, more persistent trail, recruiting a larger workforce to exploit the bounty before competitors can arrive. As more ants use the trail, they reinforce it with their own pheromones, strengthening the signal and creating a bustling superhighway of activity. It is a self-perpetuating system of immense efficiency, a collective intelligence guided by invisible whispers. And so, through this silent chemical conversation, the ant colony operates as a single superorganism. Millions of individuals work in perfect harmony, their actions coordinated not by a central commander, but by a shared language of scent. It is a testament to the power of chemical signals, a simple yet profoundly effective method of communication that has allowed these tiny creatures to conquer nearly every landmass on Earth. We now leave the miniature world of the ant and plunge into the vast blue expanse of the ocean. Here sound travels far better than light, and the largest animals ever to have lived engage in the most profound vocalizations. Humpback whales are renowned for their songs. These haunting melodies can travel for hundreds, even thousands of miles. These are not random noises. The songs have a clear, hierarchical structure. Individual units of sound, clicks, moans, cries, arranged into phrases repeated to form themes. A sequence of themes makes a complete song. A single song can last up to 30 minutes, repeated over and over for hours or even days, a vocal marathon of epic proportions. Only the males sing these elaborate songs, believed to be for courtship, attract females, and to compete with other males. All males in one population sing the same song. The song evolves over time. New phrases are introduced, old ones are modified or dropped. Changes spread rapidly across the group, a form of cultural transmission, a shared musical tradition across an ocean basin. The low-frequency components suit long-distance communication. These deep rumbles can penetrate the SOFR channel, allowing songs to propagate across immense distances with little loss of energy, a global network of communication, a symphony of giants echoing through the deep. From the depths of the ocean, we return to a world much more familiar, to an animal that has been our companion for millennia, the dog. Their ability to communicate with us is one of the foundations of our bond, but their conversations among themselves are just as rich and nuanced. They speak a language not of words but of the body, posture, facial expressions, the tail. All form a complex and instantly readable dialogue. The wagging tail, for instance, is not simply a sign of happiness. Direction matters, speed matters. A wag biased to the right is associated with positive feelings such as seeing its owner. A wag biased to the left, however, can indicate negative or withdrawal-related feelings, such as when facing an unfamiliar dominant dog. The height of the tail, high and stiff for dominance, low or tucked for fear, adds another layer to the message. But the conversation doesn't end with the tail. The entire body is a canvas for expression. A playful dog will adopt the classic play bow, front end down, back end up, an unambiguous invitation to a game. A fearful dog will make itself smaller, cowering, with ears flattened against its head. An aggressive or dominant dog will try to make itself appear larger, standing tall, with fur bristling along its spine, a posture known as piloerection. Facial expressions, too, play a vital role. The subtle lifting of a lip to expose a canine tooth is a clear warning. A soft, open mouth with a lolling tongue suggests a relaxed and content state. Even their gaze is a powerful tool, used to establish dominance or to show submission by averting the eyes. For dogs, communication is a holistic performance, a constant broadcast of their emotional state and intentions, written clearly for all who know the language to see. As dusk settles, a different kind of conversation begins, one written in sparks of living light. This is the world of bioluminescence, where animals produce their own light to communicate. On land, its most famous practitioners are the fireflies. Each species has its own unique flash pattern, a specific sequence of blinks and pauses that acts as a Morse code of the night. It is a language of love, broadcast into the darkness. A male firefly flies through the warm night air, rhythmically flashing his signal, advertising his species and his availability. Below, in the grass, a receptive female waits. If she recognizes the male's pattern, she will respond with a flash of her own, timed precisely after his. This initiates a dialogue of light, a call and response that allows the male to zero in on her location. It is a delicate and beautiful courtship, a beacon of hope in the vast darkness. But this luminous language can be treacherous. The Photurus firefly, the so-called femme fatale, has learned to mimic the response flashes of other species. An unsuspecting male, thinking he is approaching a potential mate, is instead lured into a deadly trap. He is not met with courtship, but with a predator. In the dense, complex societies of primates, maintaining social harmony is paramount. Here, communication takes on a tactile form, a language spoken through the gentle, deliberate act of touch. Social grooming is one of the most important interactions within a primate troop. It is far more than simple hygiene. It is the glue that holds their society together, a currency of trust and affection. One primate will meticulously part the fur of another, searching for and removing parasites, dead skin, debris. The act itself is calming. It releases endorphins in both groomer and groomed, reducing stress and reinforcing social bonds. It is an intimate act, requiring a great deal of trust. An individual must remain still and vulnerable, allowing another to work so closely. This vulnerability, met with gentle care, builds powerful alliances. The politics of grooming are complex. Dominant individuals tend to receive more grooming than they give. Subordinates may groom a higher-ranking member to curry favor, to gain access to food, to seek protection from aggression. It can reconcile after conflict, a silent apology and reaffirmation of the bond. For the largest land animal on Earth, the elephant, communication must match its scale. While they are known for their powerful trumpets and rumbles, a significant part of their conversation happens at a frequency far too low for human ears to hear. This is infrasound. These deep subsonic calls are a fundamental part of their social lives, allowing them to communicate over vast distances, up to several miles across the open savanna. These low-frequency rumbles are generated in the elephant's massive larynx, and can carry messages of warning, excitement, or a desire to mate. But elephants have another, even more remarkable way of perceiving these calls. They can hear through their feet. The infrasonic rumbles travel not only through the air, but also as seismic vibrations through the ground. Elephants possess sensitive nerve endings in the thick pads of their feet, and have large, specialized fat bodies that transmit these vibrations up the leg to the middle ear. This gives them a form of stereo hearing for ground vibrations, allowing them to determine the direction of the call. In the world of communication, some animals wear their hearts, or rather their intentions, quite literally on their skin. Masters of camouflage, the chameleon and the cuttlefish. Their skin is a dynamic canvas, thousands of specialized cells, chromatophores, expanding and contracting to reveal different pigments. A chameleon broadcasts mood, placid green. Confronted by a rival male, colors shift in seconds: yellow, orange, red, dominance, a warning to back down. A receptive female, softer, subdued patterns. Non-receptive or pregnant female, dark, contrasting colors to ward off advances. The cuttlefish, even more extraordinary control. It can display different patterns on opposite sides simultaneously. Aggressive pattern to a rival on one side while showing gentle courtship patterns to a female on the other. They create moving, pulsating waves of color across their skin. A hypnotic, complex visual language. Within the darkness of the hive, a remarkable form of symbolic communication takes place, one that is as precise as it is abstract. The honeybee, upon returning from a successful foraging trip, performs a special waggle dance for her sisters. This dance is not a simple expression of excitement, it is a detailed set of instructions, a living map that communicates the exact location of a distant food source with astonishing accuracy. The dance takes place on the vertical surface of the honeycomb. The bee performs a figure-of-8 pattern. The central part of the dance is the waggle run, where she vibrates her abdomen vigorously from side to side. The direction of this waggle run is the crucial first piece of information. The angle of the run, relative to the vertical line of the comb, represents the angle of the food source relative to the sun's position in the sky. If the bee dances straight up the comb, it means fly directly towards the sun. If she dances straight down, it means fly directly away from the sun. Any angle in between corresponds to the appropriate angle in the field. The duration of the waggle run, the length of time she waggles her abdomen, communicates the distance to the food. A longer waggle means a farther flight. It is a truly symbolic language translating one set of information, distance and direction, into a completely different format. In the murky, turbid waters of tropical rivers in Africa and South America, where visibility is often near zero, a group of fishes has evolved an entirely different sense to navigate and communicate. These are the weakly electric fish. They have developed specialized organs that generate a weak electric field around their bodies, turning themselves into living batteries. This field is their window to the world. This electric field is not used for attack or defense, like that of an electric eel. Instead, it is a sensory and communication system. Each fish produces an electric organ discharge, or EOD, with a specific frequency and waveform, which acts as its individual signature. When two fish meet, they can sense each other's EOD. They can identify the species, sex, and even the social status of the other fish based on the characteristics of its electric signal. They can also modulate their signals for more complex communication. By changing the frequency or creating brief interruptions in their EOD, they can signal aggression, submission, or courtship intentions. If two fish with very similar frequencies meet, one will often shift its frequency to avoid jamming the other's signal, an act known as the jamming avoidance response. It is a ghostly, invisible conversation, a constant stream of electrical information passing between individuals in the dark water. Our final chapter takes us to the world of mammals, and a form of communication that is both ancient and powerful: scent marking. For many animals, the world is a tapestry of smells. From the mighty tiger to the humble field mouse, marking territory with scent is a fundamental way of communicating ownership, status, identity. Large carnivores have many methods for leaving their mark. Tigers, leopards, they spray urine on trees and rocks. The urine carries information about an individual's age, sex, reproductive condition. They also have scent glands in their paws and on their cheeks, creating olfactory graffiti, invisible fences around a territory. A passing rival, detecting the scent, knows the area is occupied. It can judge freshness to tell how recently the owner was there. This helps animals manage territories and avoid fights. A cold war fought with odors instead of claws. But scent marking is not just for territory. It's used to leave messages for potential mates, to mark pathways, or to signal alarm. For social animals like meerkats, the whole group adds to a communal latrine mark. The language of scent lingers long after the animal has gone. As our exploration comes to a close, we are left with a profound sense of wonder at the sheer diversity and creativity of animal communication. From the chemical whispers of an ant to the seismic songs of an elephant, life has found an almost infinite number of ways to bridge the gap between individuals. We have seen conversations written in light, in color, in movement, in electricity. Each method is a perfect adaptation to its environment, a unique solution to the universal need to connect, to cooperate, and to survive. This intricate web of communication is happening all around us, all the time. I encourage you to look and listen more closely to the natural world, even in your own back garden or local park. Observe the posture of a dog, observe the dance of a bee, observe the flash of a bird's feathers. Every interaction is a small piece of a much larger conversation. By paying attention, we can begin to appreciate the rich and complex social lives of the creatures with whom we share this planet, fostering a deeper connection and respect for them. The story of life is a story of communication, and there are always new languages to discover, new dialogues to decipher. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey into the ways animals talk. If you found this exploration as fascinating as I do, please consider subscribing to the channel for more journeys into the wonders of the natural world. There is always more to see, and always more to understand.